What's going on, guys? I just wanted to. It was a good. Wanted to talk about. A good weekend of fights. I want to cover the main event for Bellator 265. It was a heavyweight bout between Cheik Kongo and Sergei Kharitonov. Um, for the two heavyweights. These two have a combination of kickboxing, boxing, and MMA background that is pretty impressive. Both of them have been competing at a high level for over a decade. Um, Cheik Kongo, he's been in. I think he's been in Pride. He was definitely in UFC. Had a lot of wars in UFC in the heavyweight division over there. He faced some of the best, including Cain Velasquez, Frank Mir, um, Pat Barry, and a whole bunch of Mirko Cro Cop. He, French fighter. Uh, you know, um, right there, a lot of people think that Gan is the first of French fighter, heavyweight fighter that UFC has. Not really. Cheik Kongo was making headlines back in the day, and he had a good run in UFC. Eventually, he ended up in Bellator. His run in Bellator hasn't been that impressive, at least to me, although he has been dominant um, to a degree. It's just that Bellator's heavyweight division is not that deep. It's not that. Um, it's not the same division that he was in at UFC. Um, Cheik Kongo is one of those fighters that hasn't been, at least in my eyes, very consistent in his performances. At least as far as Bellator is concerned. In Bellator, he's been inconsistent. There's been fights where he has shown up um, what looked like to me like he was out of shape. Um, some of his fights were lackluster. He was there just doing the motions, and he would get wins, but a lot of decisions, a lot of boring fights, if I'm honest. Um, that could be for lack of motivation. I'm not sure. Another thing is that he hasn't been that active in Bellator. But I think that's more Bellator's fault because Bellator, to a certain degree, they neglected their heavyweight division. Um, didn't help that their heavyweight champion was Ryan Bader, who was competing both light heavyweight and heavyweight. And even right now, he's giving light heavyweight priority. That's where he's competing the most. So it makes for you know, a very lackluster heavyweight picture over there. Um, Sergei Kharitonov also has a rich history. Kickboxer, used to be in Pride, M1 Global, was in Strike Force, one of those heavyweights that has a heavy background in boxing, kickboxing. Tough guys, both tough guys to be honest. So I'm surprised this was the first time they faced each other as far as I'm concerned. The fight went 2 rounds, and it was, man, it was an action-packed fight. It from beginning to end. These two were not messing around. They were not fucking around. They went at each other. It was a stand-up war. I think Cheik Kongo fought the smarter fight. He was using a lot of footwork um, to stay away from Kharitonov. Even though Kharitonov did also very good in putting an immense pressure on Cheik Kongo. They both landed so many shots, proving that both have iron chins. I think that Cheik Kongo was landing the better shots, the clearer shots. he had a longer reach and he was aware of it. He was taking advantage of it. He was landing most of his jabs. Kharitonov, uh, he had to work his way in to get close to Cheik Kongo, and he did land a lot of body shots. At, in that first round, Cheik Kongo was dropped. There were moments where he would turn his back. He was fighting exhaustion too. Cheik Kongo is known to gas out. He doesn't have the best gas tank. This was a good performance. With that said, because he fought through exhaustion, and he got Kharitonov also tired. It was a war. It was a war, and I loved it. It was a very fun fight, action packed, and it ended in the second round. Um, they ended up on the ground, and Cheik Kongo had enough energy to take Kharitonov's back, and he slapped a rear naked choke, and he was squeezing the life out of Kharitonov. Kharitonov tapped out. He tapped out right at like a second before the bell rung on that second round. It was action packed, very dramatic fight. I loved it. There was a crowd, and most of them were rooting for Cheik Kongo. So Cheik Kongo had a good fight. I think that if Kharitonov had not tapped, he would have been saved by the bell, and he could have gotten the victory because Cheik Kongo was done. As far as cardio is concerned, when Kharitonov tapped out, Cheik Kongo was on the floor, laid out, and completely exhausted. Officials were around him. They were asking him to get up. He was telling them to wait. At one point, I thought that he was having a heart attack. The guy looked completely unable to get up. Eventually, he did get up, and it was interesting. It was a good win, one of the better wins for Cheik Kongo. He's up there in age for a fighter. He's 46. And so I understand, it's not easy. And Kharitonov, man, he's a tree trunk. That guy is a Terminator. He keeps coming. You land on him, and he kept coming. And you could see the frustration in Cheik Kongo. It was a back and forth war, and good win for Cheik Kongo. Either way, win or lose, both of them I think are very relevant in the Bellator heavyweight picture. Like I said, that heavyweight division in Bellator is not deep. A lot of moving parts in that division right now. So I think they're both in a good place. Kharitonov, even he's not as old as Cheik Kongo. He's 41, but he's been in wars, man. I've seen him break people, and there are people like Roy Nelson and Matt Mitrione. He broke their spirits and beat them up really bad. So, and he was doing the same to Cheik Kongo, but Cheik Kongo turned it up. She showed a lot of heart, a lot of determination, and it was a very good submission win. I love this main event. Let me know what you guys thought of it. If you have questions or comments, give me likes, dislikes, and I appreciate you. I hope you subscribe to my humble channel. My subscribers, little by little, they're growing. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. And till the next one. Thanks for listening to me. I love the MMA sport, like I said before. So let's see what happens next. Next is UFC. So I'll make a video about that main event. Great weekend of fights. Thank you. Peace.